Hi, hello friends, welcome back to my channel once again for part 14 video. In this video we're gonna see the filtering from table using MVC. We're gonna have a simple HTML table. From the table, how to implement the search functionality. We can have a multiple search in a single text box. So let's get started. To create the functionality, first I'm gonna create a new project in MVC. Okay, let the project to be load. Yeah, the project has loaded. Before we start anything, first, I'm not gonna create a new controller for this. I'm gonna use the same home controller. For that, first go ahead and home controller, remove this other action result functions, and go ahead views, chat, layout. We're gonna use Ajax call and jQuery, so we need jQuery. From the below, we should cut it. Paste underneath the monetizer in order to use a jQuery. Then go to this view. In this view, delete whatever you have here. Okay, now we have a clean project. Let me run it. Now our project ran successfully without having any errors. Just go ahead Visual Studio and stop it. Now, to load the table to implement a search functionality, we need some data. I'm not gonna get the data from any databases. I'm not gonna use any web APIs. I want to make it as simple as that. I'm gonna create a model, insert the data into the model hard-coded. Then we can see how to filter it. So first, in the models folder, create a new class as user model. So user model, I need a 3 property. Just type prop and double tab it. One is ID, other one is name. That should be a string. Another one is age. I want to show you the different types of filtering functionalities. So one is string, integer, another one is string. So we can import this model into the controller using. Okay, now just create a simple function that should be return a list of user model, get users in this model, list of user model. So I'm gonna insert a data manually here. So new name John, age 23. I'm gonna have 5 more data. So Mike, $50, $80, $26, and 42 to different age groups. So return this model. That's it. Now we should pass this list of model data to CSS HTML page in order to show the table. So here is equal to, we can call this function get users. From the get user we can have this. So this list of user model has to be performed in the index page. Just go to index page, just import this with a namespace. I should take this namespace. User model. Gotcha. Now we're gonna create a table. At top of the table, I need a search text box. So for that, I'm gonna give a break. I'm gonna use a bootstrap here. I strongly recommend you to keep the coding principles here. I always use camel case for IDs and methods we use in JavaScript. So I'm going to create a table here. A simple bootstrap table. We have an ID, name, and age. So next one we're gonna do tbody, tr. So I'm gonna set a we're gonna loop the data here. So I'm gonna simply show the list into table. That's it. Let me run it, then check how it works. So we have a search bar here, text bar with a search label. All the data has been displayed in our table. Fantastic. So here are game begins. We're gonna implement the search functionality through this data. So for that, when we press the key on a text box, the search functionality should happen. For that, we have all the data in the same index. So we have to set the table into another partial view. Whenever we press the key, would like to search the text inside the text box, we should dynamically change the table. That's what we're gonna do. For that, we need one partial view in order to show a table. So just go ahead home and create view that should be partial view. Add it. Take this whole div column, transfer into this partial view. For this model, you could take this user model and paste it here. To render this partial view, we need one div tag with an ID. So here, div ID grid users. In this grid users, we're gonna dynamically pass the HTML which controller returns as a partial view. So we need a function here to return a partial view. Partial view result. Search users. We need a search text. So here we're going to tell a partial view with a filtering data from this get users. So I'm going to copy it, paste it here, where still is equal to model dot name. It can be a capital K, it can be a lowercase, uppercase. We always want the name has to be lowercase because the user can be search whatever they want. To lower contains search text, or I gonna search a name and age as well. Age is an integer, so we can't get the content element out here, so we should change that to string, and we can use the search text dot list. So here we have a list. The list type is to be the list user model. Now we can send return partial view. The partial view name is a grid view. Then the model has to be the list user model. That's what we have used here, the list of user model. So I'm gonna pass this result here. Boom. So we should approach the search user whenever we press the key on the text box, search text box. So we need to implement the Ajax call to do these operations. So in an index, I'm gonna have a script. When the page loads, I'm gonna create a function to do an Ajax call. Get users. If you guys don't know what this Ajax call is, I have already made a video for it. I'm giving the video link in the descriptions. Go ahead, or I'll give a card in this video. Just go ahead and check it out. So first it takes an URL. URL has to be action. The function name is search users. Controller name is home. Then we're gonna get a data. Data has to be HTML because we're gonna send this whole grid view as a result. That's why. So next one is data type has to be HTML. then method should be get, and our data should be, data is a parameter that we are passing to the function. This text search value, then success goes here, then the error goes here. Error. In the success, what I have to do, we're going to render this in the inside this div tag, the response inside the div tag. For that, we're going to take the id dot html res. This looks perfect, but actually what happens whenever you are trying to search the different letters, whenever the page renders in a grid view, it will be append one another. It will be create as a nested table. To prevent that, we should, before we assign anything inside the HTML, we should empty it and append our data, so it will work fine. I'm going to call this function when the page load, and I'm going to call whenever this text search key press, whenever we press the key, it should call the function. It should be better to use key app. Instead of using function, you can use arrow function as well. So you can call this get users. That's it. If you want, you can call here as this dot value or something else. I just already taken the value of a search text from the DOM element itself, so no need of it. So let me run it. Bravo, our application runs well. Now I'm gonna search as John J filters. Fantastic. I'm gonna search as Mike. M is not filtering. Mike M filters. Max. George. Then shall we try with an age? 50. 23 2. So it works fine. Okay, here we have another problem. When we don't have any data, it shouldn't be empty, it should show some values. For that, I'm gonna go for a grid view and modify. When the model count is not is equal to 0, we can show the data. Otherwise, we can show as there is no record available. If model.count not is equal to 0, we can show this. Or else we can show like no record found. Don't forget to give colon here, and I want this to be center. So let's go ahead, and refresh it. When the record is not found, I just given as no record found. And one more functionality, we should check it here. I just forgot to implement it. Whenever we search with the capital letters, uppercase letters, it won't take a value. So here is Mike. So what have I done is I just lower the values which is coming from our predefined data. I'm not lowering a value. I'm not turn the value into lowercase, which coming from the text box. So we should lower this value as well in order to implement it. We don't need to give any upper lowercase functionalities to an integer property. So go ahead and run it. Mike, it works. Capital Mike, it works. So that's all for this video, guys. Thank you for watching till the end. Please do subscribe and press the bell icon to get my latest video updates, and share, like, comment. If you want guys me to make a video in Tamil, I'm would like to do, because my Tamil videos are not viewing very much than my English videos. That's why I refuse to do Tamil videos previously, which I've done that. So please do comment in my Instagram or else the Facebook page as well. So thank you.